You know this moment. It's not the screaming match. It's not the slammed door. It's the Tuesday night when you're sitting 3 feet apart, but it feels like you're in different time zones. You look at them, they look at their phone, and suddenly, the quiet isn't peaceful. It's heavy, it's suffocating, and your brain starts running the tape. Why does this keep happening? Did I do something wrong? Do they even care anymore, or have they just gotten used to me? Am I the problem? Is this just what love looks like after the spark dies? Here is the truth that no one tells you. The silence didn't happen because you ran out of things to say. It happened because you ran out of safety. You don't drift into silence because you stopped loving each other. You drift into silence because speaking up started to feel more dangerous than staying quiet. You are not failing at love. This is not a sign that you chose the wrong person. Every couple that has ever loved deeply has stood exactly where you are standing right now. But you don't have to stay there. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why the silence started, how to break the cycle without forcing conversation, and how to turn that heavy quiet back into a safe harbor. Let's get into it. Most couples believe that silence is a weapon. They think their partner is shutting down to punish them, to control them, or because they simply don't care enough to try. So, you push. You ask, "What's wrong?" You demand, "Talk to me." And the wall gets higher. But the real truth is much softer and much sadder. Silence is rarely about punishment. Silence is about protection. When safety leaves a relationship, the love doesn't disappear. It goes underground. Your partner's nervous system is reading you before their mind can catch up. If their history tells them that conflict leads to rejection, or that their feelings will be criticized, their body pulls the emergency brake. What looks like stonewalling is usually someone who has been so overwhelmed for so long that silence is the only shield they have left. They aren't trying to hurt you. They are trying to survive the interaction. And until you understand that, every attempt to fix the communication will just feel like an attack to them. This isn't incompatibility. It's the anxious avoidance cycle playing out between two people who both actually want the same thing: to feel safe enough to be seen. Point 1. The safety deficit. Most couples try to fix silence by demanding more words. They think if they can just get their partner to speak, the problem is solved. But here's the part no one talks about. You cannot logic your way out of a nervous system response. The deeper truth is that your partner isn't withholding information. They are withholding vulnerability because they don't trust the landing. If every time they shared a fear, it was met with a solution, a correction, or a sigh, their brain learned, speaking equals danger. Let's look at the difference. In the disconnecting version, you say, "Why won't you talk to me? You're always so distant. It's like pulling teeth." Their internal monologue screams, "I'm already failing. If I speak, I'll say it wrong. Better to say nothing." But in the connecting version, you lower the stakes. You say, "I notice things feel quiet between us. I'm not asking you to fix it right now. I just want you to know I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere." See the shift? You removed the demand. You added presence. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. Point 2. The pursuit-withdrawal trap. Most people in relationships think that if one person pulls away, the other person needs to chase harder to bridge the gap. It feels intuitive. If they are leaving, I must pursue. But this is where it gets really interesting. The harder you pursue, the faster they withdraw. Here's the psychological reality. For the pursuer, distance feels like abandonment. For the withdrawer, pressure feels like engulfment. You are dancing a tango where one person is stepping forward and the other is stepping back, and you're both convinced the other is leading you off a cliff. Not louder conversations, not more compromising, not scheduling a weekly check-in, but two people who realize they are triggering each other's deepest fears. Imagine this scenario. You send a text. "We need to talk tonight." His brain registers, "Threat, prepare defense, shut down." He goes silent. You panic. You call. He doesn't answer. You spiral. Now contrast that. You feel the distance. Instead of chasing, you pause. You send a text. "Hey, I'm feeling a bit disconnected today. No need to reply right away. Just wanted to share that. Love you." What's moving through him is, she's not attacking. She's sharing. I have space. I can breathe. I can come back when I'm ready. And here's what changes everything. When you stop chasing, you give them the gift of missing you. That's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. Point 3. Emotional illiteracy. Most couples believe that their partner knows how they feel. They think, if they loved me, they would know why I'm upset. But honestly, man, most of us were never taught how to name our emotions. We were taught to suppress them. The deeper truth is that silence is often a translation error. Your partner might feel shame, but it comes out as anger. They might feel overwhelmed, but it comes out as numbness. They don't have the vocabulary to say, "I am feeling inadequate." So they say nothing, or they snap about the dishes. Let's look at the language. Disconnecting version. You ask, "What's wrong?" They shrug, "Nothing." You push, "Don't lie to me." They shut down completely. Connecting version. You offer a menu, not an interrogation. You say, "I'm sensing some tension. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Or do you just need some space to recharge?" There's no wrong answer. Her brain is quietly registering, "He's curious, not critical. He's giving me options. I don't have to defend myself." This isn't a communication hack. This is just what two emotionally mature people naturally do when they care about understanding rather than being right. That's the shift that turns a silent standoff into a moment of genuine connection. Point 4. The myth of effortless love. Most couples think that if love is real, it should be easy. They believe that the silence means the magic is gone. They compare their behind-the-scenes struggle to everyone else's highlight reel. But here's what nobody explains. Intimacy isn't built in the big moments. It's built in the 30-second ones, when you choose to look up. The silence isn't the end of love. It's the end of the fantasy that love requires no maintenance. Think of emotional distance like scar tissue. It doesn't form overnight. It forms slowly, over 100 small moments that never got repaired. A missed bid for attention, a dismissed joke, a sigh instead of a hug. So, how do you reverse it? You stop waiting for the big talk. You start repairing the micro moments. Disconnecting version. You walk past each other in the hallway, eyes down, phones out. Connecting version. You walk past. You pause. You make eye contact. You touch their arm for 2 seconds. You say, "Good to see you." It feels small. It feels insignificant. But what's moving through them is, I still exist to them. I am still visible. And when you do that, the drift stops. You begin to turn toward each other again, one tiny second at a time. Point 5. Becoming the anchor. Most people wait for their partner to change first. They think, I'll open up when they stop being so cold. Or, I'll stop pressing when they start talking. It's a standoff. And in a standoff, no one wins. The deeper truth is that someone has to go first. Someone has to break the cycle by changing their own energy, not their partner's behavior. This is the hardest part. It requires you to regulate your own nervous system when everything in you wants to panic. Your nervous system in a conflict is like a smoke detector. It cannot tell the difference between your partner raising their voice and actual danger. So it sounds the alarm. Your job is to be the one who turns off the alarm. Disconnecting version. They are silent. You feel anxious. You pace. You vent to friends. You plot your next argument. Connecting version. They are silent. You feel anxious. You take a deep breath. You go for a walk. You read a book. You calm yourself. You return to the room grounded. You say, I'm feeling calm now. I'm here if you want to connect. If not, that's okay too. This isn't a trick for avoiding conflict. This is what it looks like when someone has learned to love without losing themselves in the process. And when you become the anchor, you give your partner permission to drop their defenses. Because finally, the storm has passed. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to show up differently. When you internalize this, you stop reacting and start responding. And your partner will feel the difference before you've even said a word. You are becoming the kind of partner who creates safety, not just demands it. You are becoming the person who builds bridges instead of walls. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become one. Love isn't what you fall into, it's what you build every single day on purpose.